Glad that one's over. Good.
Coach, you had said yesterday you can't believe it's finally here. What was it like being a head coach running the first training camp run?
It always goes back to like what I've done. It's like the hardest part is not being involved in the drills, because you delegate some of the drills, and then that hour before, when everyone's on the court, the individual workouts, that hour was a long hour, but then once we got going, it was great.
What do you feel like you got to Cal State? What did you want to establish today?
Just some of the priorities of, our style of play. We do believe our competitive advantage is our style of play. We hit that right off the bat. And then just the overall competitiveness of the group as we got through the practice and through the details of teaching some of the drills and our base offense and defense, then we got to playing and it got pretty competitive pretty quick.
One other thing I have was defensively, you talked about all press, and I was just watching at the end. You had two guys right at the line waiting for it. Is that something that you're looking to do as well with this group? Because you have multiple guys that can play that role, defending 94 feet.
Yeah, I definitely think that's where we're leaning. We're going to try to do it. You always have to adjust to your personnel. So it will be a more aggressive defense. That's what we are installing. But we're going to see. We're going to see in the preseason exactly where we can tweak, who we have on the floor, how it looks. The reality is the defense changes with who you have on the floor against who you're playing. Same with the offense. But yeah, ideally it's a pressure defense.
Jordan, I was curious for you with this stage of the season where you're at. A theme of yesterday was how much the NBA is changing, like in the last year or two. Even are those things that you as a coach, stylistically, will alter based on what's going on in the league, trying to address some of those things, or are you gonna stick to what has worked? What's the balance of that?
I think there's a balance. It's not only what's worked that we've seen, but also to your best players. I think we've done a good job of studying our elite scorers and how they fit into a system that we'd like to play. But to think that the offensive rebounding rate around the league was the same at the end as it was in the beginning, that wasn't the case. So by the end of the year, everyone was trying to crash a little bit more. We'll just continue to monitor. We have an idea of where it's heading, but we're going to be adjustable just like everything else.
Past coaches have talked about the balance between crashing and defense and transition. You know where I was going with it. What's the balance for you with that?
We think that there's certain players on our team that can do it, can go all out to the glass and still get back. But there is a baseline of, hey, we're in this possession until it's the other team's. So all five guys have a role in the end of our offensive possession that don't take us out of position as we start the defensive transition.
Jordan, you looked pretty comfortable out there for your first official NBA practice. How long have you had that first practice scripted, either in your mind or on paper? And the second part of that is, did you get any sleep last night?
I think we did a good job of organizing ourselves ahead of time to know exactly how this first one feels or looks. I think we don't know until you show up and you go through it. There's some stuff that we wanted to stress, but I've looked at other past teams I've been on in the first practice. Some of that didn't even carry over to the first month, the second month. So I think we have a good grasp of what we want to install, how we want to get there by the first game. But we're also testing some stuff. Does it fit our group? And yeah, I was up before my alarm today, but it was good.
A lot of the players had said yesterday they were surprised with how vocal Kaban has been for such a young player. What have you seen out there from him?
Yeah, the same. You could hear him in September Open Gym, whether he was playing or on the sidelines. He was definitely talking. Our job as coaches and people and mentors around him is allow him to be himself. And if that's him and that's his spirit, we want to keep continuing to hear him. I think today it's a lot for those young guys. We tried to prep them the other night. Just be prepared that it's a lot. We'll help them again as this preseason goes along. But we could hear him a little bit today, but I'm sure if you ask him right now, he's spinning a little bit.
Yeah. You mentioned too just a lot being thrown at them as a coach. How do you kind of help them navigate that and just understand more?
Yeah, there's 24 hours in a day. There's only a couple hours that they're here on the court. There's other ways to reach them. And I think that's our job as coaches to get to them. And where they need help, how do we maximize our time not only on the court, but with them wherever. Film room, weight room, lunch room. There's other avenues there that we can use to help them. But we know it's going to be a lot. We know it's going to be a lot for them, and that's okay. Everyone went through it. All the vets went through it. By the time the regular season rolls around, they'll be ready to go.
You mentioned you look at Devin and Jalen as primary options on the offense, and you look at the way teams usually try to guard them with multiple bodies. How can the cutting process and dynamics be set up to open things, not just to leverage their talent for their skill, but for the periphery too for their secondary game?
Yeah, cutting. Anytime someone moves towards the rim, you got to guard them. So it doesn't matter who it is. Anytime someone's going to the rim, you got to guard them. Our challenge is if we move multiple bodies to the rim, they got to be at different planes. They got to be in different spaces so we're not on top of each other. And then knowing exactly when to cut, because the defense showed us this look. Now we'll cut. We're in the early stages of it. It's probably going to be some growing pains here early in the preseason of what it looks like. But the idea is to move the bodies to involve everyone else, but also give space to those guys.
Your patience being tested, and you know what you want to see, but then you got to figure out if you have the personnel to do exactly what you want to see and make some tweaks. Your patience being tested and trying to implement with your heart, but it may not always carry out in that way. I just asked you because you mentioned there might be some growing pains.
Dwayne, my patience gets more tested at home. I got a 4 and a 2-year-old than coaching basketball, so that's what we signed up to do. Like, we're going to help them. Every time that they're around us, we're going to help be a part of the solution that we're going to find. So it doesn't matter how long it takes. It's whatever it takes to get the job done.
I would ask about, because you mentioned China, the trip, and how that just tweaks the schedule, but do you have more time because of that? Did you start earlier than you normally would?
I think so, but that travel is, it's real. We're going to lose a couple days going there, coming back, but we're not going to make it an excuse. We're going to try to maximize the time that we have on the flight. We'll obviously maximize the practice time we have, but I don't see it as a negative. We'll turn it into, a way to work together more, whether it's team bonding or something on the court.
You were on the staff in 2019 when you guys went there, right? Was there something you learned from that experience that you'll take over to this one now?
That was so long ago in a different role,
Yeah.
Different team. I remember the long trip. That's what I remember. But there was a team bonding piece. If you remember what was going on at that time, there was a team bonding piece that helped us. But to go be one of the teams selected to go is a pretty big deal to not only the players but the organization.
What about the influences and the relationships that Steve Nash and Steve Clifford made you want to bring up their house to help you with your first season?
Steve Nash, I think we talked about, just being in the area and being a Phoenix Sun was a no-brainer. It was just what opportunity he wanted and how we could help him feel the best to help this group. Steve Clifford's been in the seat. He's been in the seat in multiple different teams. He was a long-time assistant. He's seen the league. I did have a prior relationship with him, so that was extremely helpful. And I had to beg to get him here. He had plans to just take it off a little bit outside of basketball. I also think he's on the East Coast, so him being up early, day after games, it's good for me to just call someone outside the building with all that experience and someone I really trust. We're thankful. I'm very grateful that he's here.
Thanks.
Thank you all. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.